All right, everyone. Welcome back to the land of Chem. I am your host and the author. My name is Jeffrey Drum. Thank you all so much for joining me again. All right, everyone, welcome back. This is episode 69, The Function of the Pyramid of Wenese, which henceforth here on this channel will be known as the Crystal Pyramid for reasons that will become apparent as we proceed. So in today's episode, I will be explaining the configuration of this crystal pyramid in preparation for revealing the function and product of this structure. I will also be presenting some amazing exclusive footage from inside of this pyramid so you can see these internal reaction chambers for yourself. And don't miss my second appearance on Odin's Alchemy with my good friend Benjamin Balderson. We talk everything from metallurgy, electromagnetism, Egyptian blue, thorium, the Tuatodon, Newgrange, and much, much more. Thank you so much to Ben for having me on again. Link in the video description below. And if this type of stuff has your attention, please subscribe to the Land of Chem here on YouTube and click that little notification button so that you do not miss the new videos when they premiere every single week. If you want to help support the channel, just go to thelandofchem.com. You can pick up a limited first edition print copy of the book, grab yourself some Land of Chem merch. Either way, all the orders mean more to me than words can possibly ever describe. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for the support. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my handle is @thelandofchem. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that is it for today's intro. So without further ado, let's get right to it. All right, everyone, here we go with tonight's episode. So today, we will be discussing the function of the Pyramid of Wenese, henceforth known as the Crystal Pyramid, which, according to the conventional historical timeline, was constructed after the Great Pyramid of Giza, and it utilizes a similar composition of different minerals in its various components. And shout out once again to the Acida Project, as this and all of the other exceptional diagrams in this presentation can be found on their website, link in the video description below. And here you can see a diagram of the structure that includes the Eastern Temple over here, the satellite pyramid down here, the external reservoir surrounding the structure here, and the internal reaction chambers located inside the structure here. And remember from our previous discussions that all pyramids that have moving stone valves, such as these here inside of the structure, will also have a satellite pyramid that is enclosed within the external reservoir, as the satellite pyramid hydraulic press mechanism uses the reservoir as a water source in like manner as the internal reaction chambers. Also recall that Yusuf discovered a red granite sliding valve mechanism here at letter K, and it is connected directly into the side of the pyramid. And I will show that to you here now. So this is calcite crystal. And you can see this carved channel, or this conduit here, that would have connected into that piece over there that I just showed you. So the base is crystal, and then they have the limestone on top of the crystalline base. Again, always remember that interaction with the electromagnetic energy field. And we'll be getting to that more later. Here's Dr. Muhammad.
Hello, hello, hello. Nice to meet you. Hello.
And one more thing that I wanted to point out here in the Eastern Temple. And this is a component that you will not see anywhere else, ladies and gentlemen. The Land of Chem exclusive. And I give all the credit to Yusuf for showing this to me, because had he not, I never would have known it was there. So, the Eastern Temple here, and the eastern side of the Pyramid of Wenese, you can see this red granite block that I'm looking at here. And this, ladies and gentlemen, held a vertically sliding component that locked into this. So you see these channels are actually polygonally shaped. And let me climb on top of here. So you can see that the component would have locked into this channel and slid up and down. So what was this? Was it a valve closure? Who knows? But a very, very interesting component that you will not see discussed or mentioned anywhere else. Absolutely beautiful. Stay tuned. All right, next up, the configuration of the internal reaction chamber system, starting here at number 1, which is your reservoir inlet shaft. And you can't see the full thing here in the diagram because it's cut off, but it does slope down from the north into the chamber system. And there is a large sealed up hole right here, which may be the water fill shaft, as it is in a very similar location to the one that we've discovered inside the Red Pyramid of Dashur. And you can see here in this diagram the height of the internal reaction chambers compared to the height of the external reservoir, and the much shorter pump shaft than we've seen in previous pyramids. So one significant detail is that the length of the pump shaft corresponds directly to how high the water needs to be raised inside the reaction chambers. For example, the water within the Red Pyramid has to be pushed all the way up into the third reaction chamber. So there is a much longer northern pump shaft and thus much more volume of water that gets compressed into the system. The water level does not get raised that high, so the pump shaft is much shorter. You can also see here a proposed housing of some sort, which may have been related to the operation of this pump mechanism. And now, back inside of the reaction chambers, we continue through this section here, which is indicated in red, that is entirely composed of red granite with 3 stone valves that you can see here, which are configured in a very similar manner to those within the antechamber of the Great Pyramid of Giza. And these also function to seal the internal reaction chambers. And as I revealed in episode 65, the Osiris Shaft documentary, the red granite contains high amounts of crystalline quartz, which, when exposed to an electric field, activate the inverse piezoelectric properties and begin to resonate, producing ultrasonic sound vibrations. And I will be doing a full video explaining exactly how this mechanism works in an upcoming episode. So for now, just know that these ultrasonic sound vibrations are propagated into the reaction. And you can see here that the red granite actually continues almost the entire length of the shaft into the reaction chamber system. And this entire component is designed to promote the directional movement of the ultrasound into the reaction chamber system, which brings me to the next component. These 3 ancillary resonance amplification chambers, and they do exactly that. And here is a quick video from inside of this functional acoustic architectural mechanism. And this is one of the main premises of the first book of the Land of Chem series, that the Egyptian pyramids were designed with functional architectural components that were designed to facilitate these chemical reactions. So now I have my headlight on, and we're going to go into these ancillary chambers. So we are still inside the Pyramid of Wunis. And you can probably hear it. Ooh. Ooh. The echo and the resonance inside of this portion of the structure is significantly amplified. I'm using that word very intentionally, amplification. And this doesn't happen in every structure. So there's these 3 ancillary hollow chambers here, 2 and 3, that go back into the primary reaction chamber there. All right, everyone, just a quick reminder that brand new Land of Chem merch is finally available at thelandofchem.com. I just dropped this new black on black with the 5th degree logo, a raw image of the Central Pyramid of Giza featuring an alchemical symbol for hydrochloric acid. And don't forget the genesis for the entire Land of Chem YouTube channel, the book, the land of Chem, an initiation into ancient chemistry through the degrees of the Egyptian pyramids. This is limited. First edition print copies of this amazing book. It has purple metallic foil stamping on the cover. The inside pages are orchid. It is absolutely gorgeous, and for the moment, it is my life's most important work. So if you want to help support the channel, just go to thelandofchem.com. You can pick up some merch, grab yourself a book. Either way, all the orders mean more to me than words can possibly ever describe. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And here at number 4 is the primary reaction chamber. And the main functional component to point out here is that the ceiling does not meet the top edge of the walls, and there is a substantial gap between them. And I was able to investigate this area while inside of the secondary reaction chamber and discovered what appears to be a trough or conduit housed in this section. So for now, I'll leave it at that, and here is a look for yourself. And here we are. And here is the red granite portcullis system and the housing thereof. So this is red granite. This piece of red granite here. So there are multiple different types of geology integrated into the structure here. This is looking up, and these are some of the tunnels that were excavated in the exploration of the structure. And into the first vaulted chamber. And notice here that the ceiling does not meet directly with the edge of the wall. There's a gap back there, and that was done very intentionally. And last but not least, the secondary reaction chamber, which houses a massive black graywec container. And yes, you heard that correctly. This is not black, possibly a mineral called black graywec, but it has very similar heat-resistant properties, which is critical in this section of the reactor system. And finally, the calcite crystal walls and floor, which are indicated on the diagram here in green. And you can see this section here, and as I mentioned before, I was able to investigate this recess between the ceiling and the chamber wall, and I discovered a conduit or trough in between this section. Also recall that the calcite contains crystalline material that operated exactly in the same way as the red granite in the electromagnetic field experiments. So these crystal walls in the backside of the chamber and floor were also designed to transmit ultrasonic sound vibrations into this reaction chamber system. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, into the primary reaction chamber. And this part of the walls are made of limestone. And this is all painted with Egyptian blue, calcium copper silicate, one of the first synthetic pigments ever produced on the face of the planet. And within this chamber is a massive black basalt container. Container of what, you might ask? We will be getting to that soon. And this, ladies and gentlemen, in the back part, this is not limestone. These walls here are actually made of calcite crystal. So this is limestone, but this is calcite crystal. And I'll show you something that proves that in just a minute. But let me squeeze back behind here, and I want to show you something that I noticed during my last research expedition. All right. So you'll notice that the walls back here are unfinished. So this area, there's no carvings back here. which to me is an indication that this was a repurposing of the structure, that the carvings and everything inside of here that are decorations came later, because the part that they could not reach is completely untouched. And there's no carvings down here either. It's only up here. So again, to me, this is an indication that the carvings came later. And again, notice at the top of this chamber, the ceiling does not meet the wall. There's a gap back there, and there's a specific reason for that I'll be discussing later. And this container is spectacular. This thing is massive. And let me circle around here. Into these ancillary chambers. Over here. Excuse me, pardon. And here. Hang on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to do a quick demonstration. Okay, so this portion here is calcite crystal. This here is limestone. So you'll notice it does nothing when you put it on the limestone, but when you move to the crystal side, look at that beautiful glow. So calcite crystal composes this entire back portion of the chamber. And we were just looking at the shadow figure here and discussing, you see that guy with his arm up? So it appears that there were two different types of tools. You have rough chiseling in the decorations, but whatever was used to carve that shadow figure is a completely different type of tool because it produced a smooth effect. So you have, again, this calcite crystal, and I just realized that the floor underneath the container is also calcite crystal. So that calcite crystal is feeding into the black basalt container. Fascinating stuff here at the Pyramid of Wenise in Saqqara. So here, inside of the Pyramid of Wenise, now known as the Crystal Pyramid, we have a water pump, an ultrasound generator, a resonance amplifier, 2 vaulted reaction chambers which also manipulate pressure, configured with a conduit collection system connected into the ceiling. Then we have a temperature-resistant container and more ultrasound generating capacity in the second chamber. So what the hell was being produced inside of this pyramid? I'll be getting to that soon, so please subscribe and stay tuned. All right, everyone, that is it for today's video. This was episode 69, The Function of the Crystal Pyramid, part 1. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and in the next episode in the series, I have an absolute banger in store. Another amazing demonstration showing the function of one of the favorite structures here on this channel, the Red Pyramid of Dashur. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Land of Chem here on YouTube. Click that little notification button so that you do not miss new videos when they premiere every single week. If you want to help support the channel, thelandofchem.com, limited first edition print copies of the book, some Land of Chem merch. I really appreciate all the support. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my handle is @thelandofchem. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that is it for today's video, so I will see you next time. Yo. Are you still watching this? Please subscribe to the Land of Chem here on YouTube and click that little notification button. New videos coming out every single week. And check out this other episode. Come on, do it. Do it now.